Exercise is like a calendar event, a meeting that you have to go to every day. And it's for yourself. We give so much to other people every day. Most of us are moms, dads, sisters, brother. We're constantly doing stuff for other people. Finally stop and do something for you and just attend a class. And I think that they'll love it. I love it. And I'm like I said, I can't even recommend it any more than I have. It's like 10 stars out of 5.
It's time to lead the way. Let us show you how to reach your fitness goals once and for all. We aren't going to just show you the way. We are going to lead the way.
Hello, everybody. It's Coach Sal, and this is the Lead the Way Fitness Podcast. This Friday, as I do most of my podcasts on Friday, this Friday, I have a special guest. Her name is Cecilia. Cecilia, I always butcher your last name. You can have.
Oh, Jaruagei, Jaruagei. Yeah, Jaruagei.
Actually, she just started with Lead the Way Fitness here in Monrovia. And so right now, guys, we are doing our one major challenge of the year is called the Little Black Dress Challenge. And Cecilia came in on that challenge. And so our goal today is to talk about challenges in the industry, the fitness challenges you always see marketing promoting, and why or why not a person should actually join one of these challenges, what they should be focused on, and what the impact of these short challenges should have in terms of goal focusing. Okay, so let's rock and roll with that. So first, Cecilia, let's get to know you. Where are you from?
California born and raised. I currently live in Arcadia, which I would think most people in Monrovia know where that is. It's a hop, skip, jump, and away. Full time worker. Consider myself pretty healthy. So I don't. I'm in my 50s and I don't take any medication. So my doctor always says that's healthy, Cecilia. So yes.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I work for a studio, have a corporate job. I work for Warner Brothers.
Are you seated behind a desk most days? Or are you okay? Okay.
Yep. Seated behind in fact, though, with COVID, I got one of those stand up desks, so I try to stand up as much as possible. And I noticed that after I started these workouts and my knees were having a little bit of difficulty on certain days, that the stand up desk really helped. 'Cause I didn't have to unbend the knees. So, yeah. So, yeah, but I do it's office job, hunched over on computer. Like I said, I do try to stand most of the time. I belong to the gym. I had, of course, we all got shut down, with COVID. So I started taking long walks, like 2.5 mile walks up the street, where Baldwin is. I'd start at the bottom, go all the way top, come back down. I was watching, what I eat. I consider myself a pretty healthy eater. Unlike a lot of people who gained a lot of weight, during COVID, I was able to keep that weight down. But I always had like a diet of being conscious about breads and butters and frying. I don't like if I love tacos. I want to die with a taco in my hand. That's how much I like tacos. Yeah. But I won't fry them. I do like a soft tortilla. So always pretty health conscious. But as women, we get older, I mean everybody, as we get older, our metabolism starts to slow down, and it feels like the things that were working when you were younger are not working anymore, just like the cutting back on the calories and exercise being a struggle. That struggle was just to stay the weight you were at, just to control the weight. I did go back to the gym during COVID, and I was just like, I go through the routine and I just didn't feel like I was getting that workout, and I wasn't making any like real progress that I had wanted to make like for years and years. And suddenly I just got this push, and I kept seeing, your things on Facebook, your TikToks, and I was just like, I feel like this is calling. This is calling to me. It's calling, and my friend had gone to one too, and she was like, they're amazing. I lost so much weight, and she's a big girl. She's taller, she's a lot heavier than I am. So I was like, damn, if she can do it. And like you mentioned before, like the fear, like boot camp. Oh, that sounds really intense. And she kept telling me, I love it. It's so good. I had such good results. I kept seeing your little black dress challenge coming up, and I was like, I don't know, this keeps coming up. I feel like this is like, and I felt like the energy and the wanting to go that next level to really get results, to feel good about myself, and divorced, single, and I feel good about myself, but it just was like I needed the extra push to feel really good about myself. So when you're out there, you feel confident. I started the challenge. I think we're what, 4 weeks in. And one of the things you told me, don't focus on the weight. So the first week, well, the first week before we get the elimination, we get the things to eliminate. And I started looking through it, and the first thing I see is like alcohol. It's like, damn, that's gonna that's gonna be a hard one. Because I have an office job, and sometimes I like to have that glass of wine in the evening just to unwind. And then the second thing I saw was tortillas, and I was like, oh no, that's gonna be rough.
Dude, let us wrap those tacos.
I know. So, but I was looking through it, and as I said, I always considered myself a pretty healthy eater, and I was like, okay, well, I could do this. I could do this. I try to do olive oils and vinegars for my dressings. I never use like the creamy ones because I was always conscious about the calories. The milk, there was certain changes that I was going to make because I always did put milk in my coffee. So I got almond creamer, no beans, and I love hummus, so I was like, okay, no hummus, no pita. But I noticed that I was able to adjust pretty well with the diet change. It wasn't like harsh. And what I did is the first week I did try to stick to the diet plans you had then. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to kind of alter this to stick to the things that I'm eliminating from my diet, but do things the way that I would do cooking. Just make that adjustment, right? I kept thinking about, you guys always are encouraging us on classes to think about this as a lifetime goal, not as just a short-term goal. So if I'm going to make this a long-term goal, I was thinking I need to change it with what's going to work for me and what's going to make it work as far as the diet routine, right? Now, the physical part, alls I can say is I can't even tell you. I thought it was just going to be more about, the fitness thing, but it has really helped me like ground. They say mind, body, and soul, right? So the soul was like, yes, because I love the music. I love the energy you guys give. And there's always a modification if you can't do something on the workouts that you give. They go by so quick, they're so fun. Like me, if I'm gonna go party, it's music, and you guys always put the music that I like on, and I'm always really like into it. That fit my personality, like the higher energy. And everybody there who goes to the classes, I feel like everybody is. It's almost like a soul group if you believe in that. It's like people with the same mindset, same energy are kind of attracted to this place. So it helped with my like getting my energy out, my frustration, whatever I do have a high stress job, and then it helped me feel more grounded. So I felt like I was getting all that frustration out, having fun. The first week I was like, yes, I went every day. I went every day that week. I went every day except for that week that you guys were closed Saturday every day, except for last week. And then last week I didn't go because of my knees. On that Saturday, I give them a break. And this week I've gone every week. But if I were to tell somebody it's something that you should try, I have a lot of friends that kind of struggled in the same way that I have, and I have seen results. I think I lost the first week I lost 5 pounds, and now I haven't lost any more pounds, but my body fat percentage, I think today I did it, it was down like 3 to 4%.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just like, I liked it, and as long as that keeps going down, I don't care about the weight. I'm really enjoying it, and as I had said to you when I saw you last time, I think this is like a thing that I wanna stick to, and if I could encourage anybody to do it, I would say, you have the week free memberships that you offer to try it. Don't be like, I can't do it. You'll be surprised at what you can do. I think that we tend to underestimate ourselves, right? What our power is. We have the ability to do, and we're just like, oh, I can't do that. I would think of these boot camps, and I was like, instantly, I would think of burpees for some reason because I despise those. And luckily, knock on wood, you haven't had any of those yet. But like mountain climbers and the things that I thought that I would not do, like I'm doing them. And you guys are always really asking us if anything bothers us or to try things. And what I love about it is you do keep an eye, you do encourage us, you actually keep us in check as far as if we're doing something wrong, like a movement. And I think at the first week I kind of struggled with those, but now I feel like my body's really becoming stronger to
Mm.
where lifting the weights is not as hard, or certain things that were not as hard as they were the first week. So I mean, it's only the fourth week, like I said, I think, right? We're in the fourth week. We have 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
I really, 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 really enjoyed it, and I really think it's something that people should do for themselves. It's really about yourself, and a lot of the energies lately are calling you to step up, to be in, to take your power back, to be the best person that you could be within yourself. And it all starts with the body. And like I said, it hasn't just been a body experience, it's been about mind, clearing the mind, getting the energy out, feeling like I come home after workout, I eat, and I feel so relaxed. I sleep better now than I used to, you know?
Honestly, I mean, you gave me so many just choice bits there. Thank you for sharing all that. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Every aspect of it. I'll work backwards because the last thing you said is energies today are calling you to really, be the best version of you, and it's all about looking at you. And you're absolutely right. It's the inner, the best. You started saying it's the body. You start with the body. The reality of it is you start with focusing on adjusting anything and everything you can within yourself.
Right.
And the body is definitely one of them. So physical health, the mind, what you allow into your thought process. Like you're saying, most people are self-defeating. I can't, there's no way I could do this. And changing that attitude, that mindset, that's one of the things that we work on. We very much are a physical fitness gym, but mindset is really what starts everything, because those self-deprecating thoughts, those things are telling you I can't or I won't. One of the first things we try to do is tackle that. Like, hey, let's just change this. And let me show you one thing. And then now from this point on that you were successful, don't say I can't or I won't. Just try. Say I'll try. And then we start changing that attitude. And then you start, like you said, being a little adventurous and trying new things and going for a little bit more. And then you get a little stronger. And that confidence that you were talking about, that's what really starts to build. And when you start believing in yourself, that's is the biggest game changer around. That's the biggest game changer around, because most people struggle because they don't believe in themselves whatsoever. And so they'll never get out of the rut of the feelings that they feel. They don't ever change until they start to believe in themselves that they can. All we try to
Yep.
do is be the guide. You're the superhero in your own story. We just want to be a guide to show you that, hey, yeah, you can. We just got to tweak some little things that you tell yourself, the way you move, the way you take care of yourself. We start tweaking those little things, you're going to start seeing that you actually can. And then we build and stack from there. But it's from the ground up. And I love that.
And for anybody who's, wondering what kind of groups it is, it's like all shapes and sizes. There's really young people that are very fit, and there's older people that, have a couple pounds on them. So it's not like you're walking in and you're seeing all these, muscle women and muscle, like, really fit people. No, it's people just finally taking that step to say, you know what, I love myself enough that I'm going to give myself this chance to feel really good.
Thank you. I love that, because you're right. We cater to most of you, as you noticed, we cater to women within a certain age group, but we have a lot of men to work out here. We have teenagers
Mhm.
out here. We have, and our toolkit with the now 8 coaches that we have on staff here is we can cater and service anybody at any point in time, because we have the education and experience to do that. And that's something I'm very proud to brag about, because our team is awesome. And they're more than just that, though. They are full of purpose, full of drive, and they have that desire to help people. This, we're not inexpensive. That's obvious. We're not inexpensive, but for what we are doing, we sell out, and we want people to know that it's not about the money for us. It's about the opportunity to change somebody's life and help them, because that's what lets me sleep at night. I go home and I know that I put in a hard day's work of helping people, and
Mhm.
alone is the best purpose anyone can have in this world, at least in my opinion. And so I'm grateful that you brought that up. But these 6 week challenges, they're all about opportunity. The fitness world, and we're guilty of this too. We promote these things in certain ways to attract people's attention and get their mind because again, all the things we talked about earlier, you can't, the self-deprecating thoughts, the beliefs that, like you were talking about, the low calories, I'm at a certain age, my metabolism slows down. We'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. All these beliefs that really aren't true, we have to get to those people. And the way we get to those people is by marketing in a way that's going to get them to be like, oh, I want to try this. And so we have to, kind of ride that wave. And so, but once people come in, like you said, you thought it was going to be about workouts. And you started finding out, oh, this is something different. Like this is completely different from what I initially expected. And we want that. We want people to experience that. These 6 weeks, though, they're meant to stack a goal. And I think when you first came in, I was the one that sat down with you and went through the program with you, right? And like you said, the first thing I told you is don't focus on the weight. Let's focus on these other things. And then you started, I remember that first text message after the first week, you showed me you lost 5 pounds. I was like, that's awesome. That's pretty dope. But I think I told you even again, I reminded you, okay, this probably is not going to continue.
Yeah. Yep.
It's probably not going to continue to go down this road, but focus on these other things. Focus on your energy, your sleep, and your body fat percentage, because that's is what we're trying to target. And so I'm glad that you did that. And look, I mean, being down 3 to 4% in body fat, that's huge. That's huge. That's your body is changing shapes. And that's really what we want. When we look in the mirror and we see what we dislike, it's not the weight, it's the shape, it's the extra, right? And that's what we're trying to change. So the mindset of everybody saying, I want to lose weight, that is the wrong focus. The mindset should be is I want to change shape. I want to lose fat. That's really the culprit. It's fat that makes us sick. Excessive fat that makes us, that puts our blood in these conditions where people have to take medications that slows down our metabolism, that bogs down our body, our energy, our systems. It's fat. It's not weight. And so that in itself is something. So let's talk about the 2 things that I really want to bring up. You said, as we get older and the things that we tried before of eating low calories or eating small no longer works. Why do you think that is?
Our body, I mean, as far as what I understand, as you get older, your body requires less calories, right? Whereas maybe it's not breaking down the calories like it used to be.
Okay, those are 2 really good assumptions, best way to put it. So as we get older, something happens in our life for most people, not for everybody, for most people, that is the number one reason why we may need lower calories or we think that our metabolism slows down. Think about your lifespan. When you were in your 20s, how active were you? And then when you were in your 30s, how active were you? And the reality is when we get older, we become more professional or we're taking care of families or different things. So that our focus of activity went from being active, hanging out with our friends all the time when we were young, running, having the free time to go to the gym and do all these things. You're expending energy like crazy at that age. But as you get older, you become a professional, you get married, you have kids, you're at home more. You're in front of a jet sitting there. So your calorie expenditure drops. So that means you don't have to metabolize as much. You start to slow down. It's not that your metabolism slows down, it's that you've slowed down. And as you slow down, then that starts to break down at a lesser rate. And so it's easier to put on weight then, because what typically doesn't happen is how we eat. That doesn't change. That habit stays with us. So we get less active, but keep eating as if we were when we were 20. And so that weight starts to stack on. That catches up with us. And that's really the difference. This is why being active throughout your whole lifespan is important. You see people who are in their 70s and 80s who've kept active their entire life. They're healthy, they're strong, they're fit, but there's a reason. They purposely made a conscientious effort to never slow down. They stayed active, they stayed walking, they stayed working out, they stayed doing all these things. Right? So really the fallacy isn't in our metabolism slowing down or we have to eat less calories. No, it's that we become less focused on our own bodies, slow down, but we don't stop the habits that we used to have when we were super active. And so all these things catch up to us. So that's why training, and it's the thing, it doesn't matter how old you are. You could, once your activity level changes, your body adapts. And that's the magic ticket. So it's not about eating low calories, it's about eating the right amount for your body structure and active lifestyle. When you eat that way, everything starts to balance back out. That's really the biggest difference. And so for us, the biggest challenge is, again, changing the mind,
Mm.
changing the focus, changing the belief. Because when we change the belief, the habit changes. And when the habit changes, the game is won. That's really where it's all at. And so, but the thing is, we're talking about a lifetime of habits, a lifetime of beliefs. 6 weeks is never really enough to make that happen. So when you joined and for the 6 weeks, what was your? I know you said you love it and you're really ready to join. You're interested in joining, but what was your focus? Did you want to do just in 6 weeks and you're like, I'm gonna do my 6 weeks and I'm gone, or what was your intention coming into it?
I was like, I'm gonna try the 6 weeks and see and give it my one you give it 110% and see what kind of results that I get. Because as you said before, the activity level, yeah, I'm at a desk job. Like, you come home, you fix dinner, and you sit on the couch. I mean, I was trying to go on my walks, but that was, like I said, that wasn't enough for me, and that's why I knew I had to kick it up. But now that I've seen, yeah, I am actually getting results and I actually feel better, then now I'm willing to take it past the 6 weeks.
Awesome. The amount of activity level also makes that difference. And I love it how you were saying how you felt grounded here. You felt I'm prior military, and so I have this certain love hate relationship with fitness. I've always loved it, but at the same time, I'm like everybody else. I understand. I still got to do my workout today, and I'm like, I got to do my workout. It's Friday. I want to kick back, but I get it. Like it's not always easy, and so having a place in an atmosphere that allows you to actually enjoy it and crowd around you that's in the same mindset as you, that wants to build, that wants to be positive, that wants to do this in a fun way, that in itself is always helpful. And there's not every gym is the same. Unfortunately, they're not all like that, and so you do go to places where that's just not the attitude or the chemistry or even the belief system.
Yeah, I belong to the big gyms, and I noticed a big difference when I came here. Even from, I think the first class I had was my small group, and right away I noticed the difference. And then the next day I did the large group, and I was just like, oh man, I almost felt like I found my soulmate. I was like, oh, I found where I was meant to be. Because I was like, I mean, it was like I said, it was good energy, and the workouts were not like I thought they were going to be. They were doable. Like on the weightlifting, there's different options. You don't have, you're not trying to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's lighter weights options, and all the coaches, to tell you the truth, everybody that works there is so encouraging. Like I've had issues with my knee, and this morning the coach helped me with to show me how to stretch out my knees and how to strengthen it more. He took the time. He actually told me, come earlier next Friday before class, and I'll show you how to do it. So I was like, oh, okay. So I went, and he helped me with that. So you guys are always like listening and saying, just like last week I said, oh, Josh killed my knees on the small group. And you're like, don't come Saturday, take a break. So so you guys also listen. The check-in what we had, where I said, sometimes there's not enough weights alternates there on the floor. And I noticed that there started to be more lighter to heavier alternatives on the floor. So I was like, oh, this is great.
Good. Good. Because again, what we want for us, we know 6 weeks is never enough. And so what we want is longevity out of people because we want you to see your results. We want you not just to see results, more than anything else, we want you to keep them. this is the craziest thing I'm gonna tell you. It's our own little secret, but we want to work ourselves out of a job. We want to get to a point where you don't need us. You don't. If we can transfer all of our knowledge, all of our love and enthusiasm for the lifestyle, we've done our job, and you won't need us. If you stay with us, it's really because you just want to be here. But if you already know what to do, you're already applying it, and you're making all the strides and all the gains and all the wins. That's what we want. That's when I'm successful. Is when I see one of my clients not needing me anymore. They're off flying on their own. They're doing their own thing, and they're rocking and rolling. I'm like, I was successful. This is how we win.
Yeah, and I do want to say something before it goes out of mind. A lot of people that I say this to, like, they're like, "Oh, you're doing that before the holidays? Why are you doing it before the holidays?" And I was like, "Why not? Why not? Why put off, what is that saying? Put off for tomorrow what you can do today."
Thank you for bringing that up too. I'm actually getting ready. Oh, I started today. I started my own little challenge that I'm doing all through the holidays, and so I have a very specific goal for it. But that's in the same thing. My family, some close friends, we're doing that before the holidays. That's the thing. That's the problem. That's the mindset that I'm talking about. For them, 6 weeks, and then I'm done. Then I go back to doing what I used to do. The problem is what you used to do is what got you in trouble in the first place.
Yep.
And so if we don't do it now, like you said, do it right now, you're never going to change it. If your attitude is, I'm only going to do it for this period of time, you're going to end up right back where you started. And most people come back heavier. They'll take off they'll do the work for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it might be. They'll be gone for 3 months. And when they come back, they're actually heavier they were when they first started. And it's the truth. That's the cycle. That's what we're trying to break. That's really what we're trying to break, because that's not a lifestyle mentality.
Yeah, and I will say something. I'm going to confess I have had alcohol. But and I said, you know what? It's all about quantity, right? And what you do. I haven't had it every day. Like I said, I used to have it a day. I've completely cut it out. And I think there's been some social events where I kind of felt like somebody was visiting and they're like, "You want to have a margarita?" I was like, "Okay, well, how can I have a margarita with this guest and be more mindful about the calories?" So I ordered a skinny, and then the next time I ordered prosecco, which are not things that I usually orders, because I like the sugary martinis and the yummy one, but I started making healthier choices with the goal still in mind. How can I do this but not feel like I was bad? And I actually did not feel guilty about it because I felt like I had made a smart choice for me at the time.
Mhm.
So I just feel like, you know what, in the future, after the 6 weeks, no alcohol during the week. That's just how I'm going to do it. And if I go out, I just make very smart choices as far as what I'm eating and drinking.
You said that earlier too. You said that you started tweaking the nutrition plan so that it actually fits to the way that you live your life. That is genius. That's awesome. That's exactly, because that's longevity. Again, now it comes down to how the lifestyle aspect of it. You're already looking at it in that sense, like this can't be just about right now. And how can I do this so that it does match my lifestyle so I can continue to do this?
Right.
That's the point. So that's a win. That's a huge win. I'm definitely not mad at you because you drank alcohol. You're an adult.
No, but I really went in like I got it. I saw that and I was like, oh, because like I said, I'm single. I'm very social. I'm always going out, and I was just like, if I can get away from it. I mean, and there was stuff in front of me that I was like, oh, like spinach, artichoke, and chips, all this stuff. So I was like, nope. They're like, you're not gonna have any. I was like, nope. And I said, I'll just have my one little prosecco, and I'm good. And I actually, like I said, I felt good about it. I didn't feel like I cheated. I felt like I had made a healthy choice and that I could do this,
Good.
on an everyday, every month, every year basis.
Yeah. Good. Awesome. Perfect. You're doing it right. You are doing it right. So let's touch on one more thing, because you also brought up how we tend to, as we get older, we want to eat less and less, but that no longer works for us.
Well, and don't forget that I told you on our first conversation that I had tried that intermittent fasting. And I had a friend try intermittent fasting and it did not work. And it got me really frustrated.
Mhm.
You see all this stuff on TikTok, all these apps, and I was just like, this stuff's for the birds. This stuff doesn't work. I don't know what these people, I mean, for me, it was not working. And for my girlfriends, it wasn't working either. So I was just like, I got to find another way. I was like so determined to find another way, and I had seen, I think I had mentioned to you, I saw this girl on TikTok and she was in her 50s and she had showed her progression of starting to do strength training. And she said, this is where I was at. And this many months later, this is where I was at. And I was like, okay, so see. And then I saw your post and I was like, I feel like this is the calling. This is where I got to go. And I'm happy I did.
Good. Me too. Me too. So intermittent fasting. This I'll tackle both at one time. It's never the diet. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. It always comes down to how you view and think of things. But see, well, the things that when we were active, when we were doing things at a younger age, back then we definitely weren't afraid of what to eat, right? We ate what we really wanted, but we just cut things out from time to time and things would work. But the thing is, because our activity level and our food cycle is actually matching as we get older and our activity level drops and our food cycle, we tend to drop it even more and more and more. And then the difference between our activity level, meaning how many calories we're burning a day, and what we're actually eating, that gap becomes so big that your body starts to keep this as its standard. And when it starts to keep this as its standard, you like you said, you can't lose weight anymore because this is the standard, this is the norm.
Hmm.
You have to eat lower than the norm to continue to lose weight. And how, I mean, at some point, you said earlier, it's for the birds. You're going to start having to eat like a bird.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's impossible. It's not possible. And it's the same, but it's the same thing with intermittent fasting. I mean, even the term fasting, people think, well, I can't eat. That's not true. That's not how intermittent fasting works. Intermittent fasting works it's just a time span. It has nothing to do with how many calories you actually consume. You
Mhm.
still should be consuming a healthy balance of calories. You're not actually dieting. You're not changing your calorie marks. You're just decreasing the amount of time that you're eating. And there should be a small little deficit in between what you're actually burning versus what you're consuming. So if you burn an average of 2,000 calories a day, you should nowhere be eating 1,000 calories, that gap. Now, again, you're resetting your thing. You should be like at 1,800, 1,700, somewhere around there. And then it'll work. But it can't because we're so accustomed to eating 1,300, 1,200 calories. And now we're making it even worse because we're dropping the amount of time that we're eating. The dieting mentality puts us in this circle it's a never ending circle that we can't get out of. And then
Yep.
we get frustrated and say, we can't lose weight. We can't lose weight.
Mhm.
You got to reset your circle. You got to actually break the circle and reset your path is really what we're doing.
Yep. I have not felt hungry. I've listened to what the coaches have said, eat protein, eat more protein. So I've been finding almonds and things that have more protein. I don't think there's been one day when I've gone hungry. And even you guys one of you were saying, oh, you probably need to increase your calories. I was like, I don't think I can eat anymore. I just can't because I wasn't used to eating that much. So, now I have like my 3 meals. I even eat late, not like really late, but if I go to the 6 o'clock class, I'm eating like at 7:30, which I had always heard, don't eat late, don't eat late.
And you burn 4% of body fat off your body. You're winning and doing all the things that you thought you shouldn't be doing in the first place.
Yep.
You're winning and eating more. And that again, see, that is the point. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Mindset, the challenge mindset, which is what we were talking about. That challenge mindset, 6 weeks. I'm in, I'm out. I'm gonna rock it. I'm gonna commit so hard for 6 weeks, and then after that, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do whatever I want to get because I'm gonna lose my weight. That whole process is off. It is the lifestyle that changes. It's not diet. It's actually eat more. Do you know the number one cause that people, when I hear of why they're struggling, the number one thing is they are under eating. It's not
Right.
overeating, they're under.
Yeah.
You can't break the cycle. And so that whole thing is what needs to change in the fitness industry. And that's really what we're focused on. And we, again, we use the challenge as a way to introduce ourselves to people. And then we try to show them the reality of what can actually work.
It's true. I was a nursing major when I couldn't when I first started college, and I think one of the first classes I took was a nutrition class. And I remember and never forget the teacher said that diet the definition of diet is so wrong in today's society. Because people associate diet as not being able to eat, being restricted, calorie counting. That diet is more of a term of nutrition. Like, right? What is your daily diet? Like, what is your daily nutrition? So it's like reprogramming the mind that diet it shouldn't have all these red flags.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Perfect, Cecilia. That was, I love it. I love it. What to actually to close this out, what would you, after your time with us and what you've learned in the last 4 weeks, what your focus and your intentions are for whatever choice you decide to make, but what would you tell people? Like, what's the one thing if they're scared or if they're afraid or they think they can't, or they're out there doing, like you just said, they're living that diet mentality, what would you advise them in terms of what they should do next?
To believe in themselves, to not short themselves out, and to have that mentality that I can do it. We all have, the same body, same mind, same amount of muscles, that if I can do it, they can do it. It's just getting themselves out of that fear mentality. Fear is ego. Fear tends to stop us from advancing and growing because it's like protective. You can't do it, and just try a class. Try a class, go to a class. I think that would be the best advice that I would have is just go. Just don't even think about it. They even said I remember them saying that exercise is like a calendar event, a meeting that you have to go to every day. And it's for yourself. We give so much to other people every day. Most of us are moms, dads, sisters, brother. We're constantly doing stuff for other people. Finally stop and do something for you and just attend a class, and I think that they'll love it. I love it, and I'm like I said, I can't even recommend it any more than I have. It's like 10 stars out of 5.
You know that.
And then we're having a party after the challenge with
I,
with tacos and all you can eat, all you can drink. And so then you have a big party after. So
we had so much fun here last year. I can't wait to do it again this year. We've gone out. We really done our best to take it to the next level. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it too. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Try a class. Try a class, everyone. You'll love it, and you'll love yourself, and you'll love Sal, you'll love Sam and Josh and everybody out there. All the coaches are so good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. With that, we are all over the place. LeadTheWayFit.com, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Like Cecilia says, she saw us on TikTok. We got these crazy videos up there, guys. Check us out. All you got to do is reach out. We are ready and willing to help out. Cecilia, thank you so much for joining me today.
No worries. Do it. Do it for yourself.
With that, have a great weekend, everybody.